myself in the habit of reading something. And I became intrigued by reading, and I got into real estate, and I was reading about self-help, leadership. I have a wealth of knowledge about active addiction. I consider myself to be a mathematician because all the, mathematical equations you need to do to buy the product, multiply, cut, distribute, and how you're going to make your money. So I was very, very good with numbers. So I started saying, well, I have some skills, and I can use these skills in a positive form. But I want to do something that has a profound impact. And I remember being in this one particular program, and men and women used to come into the facility and talk about sharing this strength and hope, and how they used to be where I am and what they're doing now, and you can give back. And I said, man, I could do that. I could help people who are like me, because I know now that I need help, that I couldn't do this on my own. So by the time from 11 to 27 years old, all them years being in and out of jail and using, that's pain. I don't want anybody to go through that pain, and if I can make a difference in doing something, I will. So I continued to study and continued to lead, and I actually got involved with some men in prison who were actually facilitating programs. And that intrigued me, and the feeling that I got from doing that was very, very powerful. And then I made the decision that this is my purpose, that this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to help people. I'm supposed to get up and talk to people and tell them what happened to me, and I'm supposed to give them information, education, so they can do the things that I didn't do, or if they're searching for a way out. Because I remember I used to look in the mirror and I used to see confusion and limbo in my own eyes, going, where I'm in this tornado, I don't know how to get out. Can somebody take my hand? I need some help. So upon leaving the penitentiary this time, completing my term, coming home, being on parole again, and I remember the backlash that I got from some of the parole officers in the office. And I have to tell you that their backlash, and what I mean is kind of like, Gallietta, you're a piece of crap, and you were this and you were this, where you before. It kind of inspired me this time with the motivation that I already had to say, you know what? I'm going to prove something to everybody here, that I'm not that person anymore, and I'm going to make a difference. And I did. I decided to, well, first I had to get a job coming home from parole, and then I had to decide what area of schooling I needed to go into to, get this education I needed to go in. Yeah, I could talk to people about drugs all day long, but I know it's just more than that. I needed some skills. So I got involved in going to school and getting my KSAC, furthering forward, and then going to school to go for my bachelor's in psychology, to understand not only how the human brain works, but to give some people help. I want to help people. Plus I also went to school and got certified to be a certified personal trainer, because all the years I was incarcerated, I love to exercise, and I've trained a wealth of people without any credentials or certification. So someone says to me today, hey, why don't you just go get certified? It makes more sense. And that made sense to me. So I went and took the time to go to school and get my certification, and trying to help people make a difference, health and wellness, the whole package, heal and move forward. Okay, major setbacks that I can remember. 2006, I remember when I was incarcerated. This is my second incarceration, the part where I was actually doing well and doing some work. I got a call down to go to the chaplain's office, and now when you get a call down to the chaplain's office, I mean, it's never positive. They don't just call you down there and say, hey, I want to see you just for nothing. I knew something happened. But this is time I had a good, solid, emotional and psychological base. So I go down there, and he tells me, Stephen, I have some, pressing news to tell you. And I says, is it my grandfather? Is it my grandparents? Thinking that they're elderly. And he says, no, it's your father. Your father passed away last night. He had a heart attack. And I remember, you know, for a moment, you know, in disbelief, in shock, like my father's too young. He's 53 at this time. How could this happen? But then it's like I had this person talk to me inside of my own head. Rather interesting experience of saying that it's okay. This is okay. That like it was supposed to happen. It was weird, and I felt kind of soothed. You know, because knowing that my father, you know, was an alcoholic and an addict, and since he was 17 years old, he's been in active addiction. So you're talking almost 40 years coming from. My father he was in the Marines when he was younger, going in the tail end of Vietnam. So I know most of the men and women, I don't think there was women at that time, most of the men going through that experience of war, you know, coming back with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, and drinking was the social norm back then. You go into service, you drink. When you're not doing your job, you drink. And you drug. So, knowing that these things and how he was and how he destroyed his body internally, I had a level of acceptance. Even though I was angry and frustrated with him because of, you know, how the productivity, I want to say, that I was doing in my life now. Even though I was in the penitentiary, I felt some things happening, some powerful dynamics within inside of me that would help me when I leave the penitentiary. And I wanted him to be a part of that. And so I mourned the best of my abilities in the penitentiary, you know.
They let you out to